Yo, what's going on guys, HyperX here, and welcome to a first look at Marvel's Midnight Suns. This, for those of you guys that haven't necessarily been following, is a new tactical RPG, but it's by the strategy game kings Firaxis, who of course you'll know for things like XCOM, but this is actually very different. This of course is set in the Marvel Universe, and leads much more towards the more spooky side of things in the history. And recently, we had a chance to go over the pond to go hands-on with the game, and in that time we got to play around sort of 5 hours of it, test out different mechanics, and in this video I want to showcase a boss battle between Spider-Man and Venom. So, first things first, if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think of this, let me know if you have any questions. Do be sure to keep it locked because we have got more videos coming your way, more stuff to share with you. But in this video, I want to go through and sort of talk about some of the stuff you will see in this gameplay. I do need to narrate some of this, so of course for those of you guys that will typically say, hey, just let the video speak, I will try and do it when I can, but I do need to basically give you guys some context. So, please forgive me. That being said, hopefully you also find it useful.
By her command!
First things first, if you haven't been following this game too much, or this is your first time hearing about it, then the game features a turn-based combat system where there are 3 superheroes and they use a card deck for each turn, which is comprised of a curated deck that is designed by the player. The combat that you'll see in this boss battle showcases the general flow of combat, where you ideally want to take out as many units on your turn as possible in order to prevent yourself from being overrun. What you're seeing in this gameplay is also from the early hours of the game. This is about sort of 5 hours in, so this obviously is from a preview build. Keep in mind things that you see may still be subject to change, but for those of you wondering sort of like how much life you're going to get out of this, supposedly the game is said to be around 60 hours. Speaking specifically about this mission, the Venom mission, this is broken into 2 parts. There's one part where you have to rescue civilians whilst taking out Hydra agents, and throughout the first part of this mission, you will need to be cautious of Venom's attacks, which will target a specific area of the map. Although this can be used to your advantage, because you can also bait him into damaging the Hydra agents directly. Meanwhile, the second part of this mission will be the boss battle against Venom directly, which of course you'll see in a bit. Now, I mentioned earlier on in the video that of course you can create different teams, sort of a different team comps based on sort of the characters that you have available or of course that you like. And this team setup consisted of the Hunter, which of course is the new character, alongside Magic and Spider-Man. Hunter was currently set up as an all-rounder. Meanwhile, Spider-Man tends to have cards which allow him to damage multiple targets with combos. And then Magic's Limbo Portal allows her to make full use of the terrain, collisions and environmental positions to create some really unique setups. Definitely a very, very useful addition specifically for this mission. Talking about some of the card mechanics, when defeating some enemies, this gives you access to unique cards which can be played during specific encounters. One of the ones you can see here are the defensive posture cards, which give all heroes a whopping 27 block. Block completely negates damage, so it's actually really useful when your heroes are in the thick of it. There are also some other really interesting additional mechanics in this game. There is Frenzy, which is this sort of mechanic that adds a fun wrinkle where enemies will attack after a few actions rather than at the end of your turn. So sometimes when you're trying to sort of predict things or plan for things, you need to think about more than just your basic turn cycles. Saving civilians will also cost heroism, which is a resource you'll spend on some of the more powerful moves, so it's a fine balancing act between doing damage to keep enemies at bay, as well as, of course, progressing with your weapon objective.
They will be the next to fall in the hunt.
Wow! You two ever work with a guy named Craven?
Forever in service!
I should get you going.
Now's your chance to hone those skills of yours. Don't leave any Hydra standing.
One of the things that's really useful for the Hunter type character is the whip. This is a really useful move because it allows you to knock back enemies from extended ranges. You can see one of the examples here of the whip being used directly to throw enemies into each other's paths, or explosives to basically maximize your damage.
I'm hurt bad! It's not over yet, but it will be if this keeps up. As ordered. You are not ready for me.
Coming at you! This should help.
You're just lucky we aren't allowed to take your life.
Regroup and focus.
Unlike XCOM, the game is not played on a grid, but rather features full 3D movement akin to, say, like the Divinity series. So unlike a regular turn-based strategy where moves are your sole focus, squad placement plays an important part in the gameplay.
You guys are really gonna get hurt if you're not careful.
Not looking good here.
You won't survive another encounter with me.
Can't stop us, heroes. But we hope you try. You're too strong for you.
Don't suppose you'd let us actually try and help you, Eddie?
Help us. Help us. You did everything.
One of the things you can see here, of course, is Spider-Man using a chain strike, which allows him to attack multiple targets if he KOs a target. He can actually chain this ability twice, so if you do set this up correctly and you make some of those nice strategic plays, you really can reap the benefits.
Do not touch us. We will heal faster than you. No scan.
If you wanted a hug, you could have just asked.
This creature fights with her strength. We have spotted enemy reinforcements.
Follow Spider-Man's lead here. He's the expert when it comes to Venom.
Thanks. I recommend giving him a wide berth, especially if he's feeling huggy. Here we go! I do feel pretty amazing.
Not as fragile as you.
Maybe fast little for cooler outfits?
Venom has a unique status called Symbiote Skin, which means the next attack on him by the player will cause that superhero to be bound, preventing them from moving or using their cards. These heroes can be freed by attacking them directly with another hero on your team.
Give it up yet.
Embrace mother's love. Your struggles are pointless, and they spoil the meat.
Is he always like this?
Take it personally. Dad, you should see James.
I am getting stronger.
Walk in the light.
Every little bit helps.
You're stronger already. It has me tied up here.
More Hydra coming in quick.
Nothing can save you from us, little spider. Not heroes, not puny soldiers. We will never stop until you are ours.
I believe him. We need to put an end to this fight soon.
Whilst our squad was composed of Hunter, Spidey and Magic, Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Blade, Ghost Rider, Nico Minoru and Scarlet Witch are all also playable characters.
We will crack your tiny bones.
You're going to suffer for that.
All Venom moving into position. We sense your fear, heroes. We can taste it. A sweet marinade for the feast.
Another thing worth noting, that whilst we were playing on PC with mouse and keyboard, controller in this game is obviously fully supported.
Lunch is on me.
We will make you feel regret.
Talk about a sticky situation.
Another really important thing to keep in mind as well in this game, and this is actually super useful, is that environmental attacks actually use heroism and they don't use card plays. So it's really important to capitalize on these where possible to maximize damage.
Pain only makes us hungrier. You are puny.
They're not willing to accept defeat.
This is one of the examples where you can see magic using Gather, which is a super strong AoE attack that damages multiple enemies through a giant portal. Getting enemies to group together and then dropping this move always feels super satisfying.
Being so inconsequential. Ready? I have no respect for mindless followers.
Too strong for you. We will take your prey.
Now you've done it.
You will taste your power.
Regroup and await reinforcements.
We are embarrassing ourselves. You are nothing compared to the things I have seen and killed.
However, one of the things really worth calling out, and this is something I mentioned earlier, is that in this gameplay, you can see, of course, Socks ended up in a rather sticky situation because the combination of panicking about how much time you have left to actually record this, both of his heroes actually ended up bound, which left him with magic to free roam. Now, of course, we mentioned earlier that Venom's ability means that you need to physically attack your opponents to break them free, but it took a little while to click that what you can actually do is use her portal ability to smartly get himself back on track.
Cross me again.
Soon we eat.
Do not presume to touch me, beast.
They require aid here. The advantage is mine.
Try this on for size.
No fair hitting back.
You We're too weak for this fight.
That hurts! Mother tells us to hurry!
It's being hit by a Hell Lord. Only more sticky.
I almost pity this strange liquid man. Almost.
It's important to remember that some attacks deliver knockback only, which means they need to actually hit a target or an obstacle to finish an enemy. As you can see here, when of course Socks, who was playing this and recording this, absolutely whiffed the chance to finish Venom.
You only delay our meal!
Dark Heal is also a dark card which allows you to basically heal your team at the cost of your health. As you play through the game and make more conscious choices, light and dark playstyles will become more and more effective.
Just a little closer.
I expected more from you.
This is a great victory, everyone.
Mother's strength is eternal. We are eternal!
He fights like a damned Wendigo. Unstoppable.
Oh, he's not unstoppable. Just really annoying. Huh. Not my worst idea ever. Good afternoon, Demo Venom! Here's a special request from all of New York to you, our slobbiest invaders since Thanos.
Anyway, there you have it. This is a rundown on the Spider-Man Venom boss battle. Definitely a really fun sort of thing to experience, sort of play through, and hopefully gives you like an idea, at least early days, of some of the things. Keep in mind the way that developers have spoken about this game is that there are definitely mechanics that don't present themselves until much later, so we are barely scratching the surface in our hands-on time, but it has still been a lot of fun to mess around with. So, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you've missed any of our recent videos, you can check out one of these ones linked on screen, and do be sure to keep it locked because we have more Midnight Sun stuff coming your way on the channel.